We got a lot to talk about in the garage today, and I got Ashley Sangster from Classic Industries back with me.
Good to be back, Dennis.
Great to have you, man. Well, from the looks of it, we're going to have an illuminating discussion here.
Radiant.
Absolutely radiant. Well, Classic Industries has been supplying parts for GM cars, Camaros, Firebirds, Chevelles, Novas for a long time. But one of the things that you really got to have, there's a heck of a lot of different kinds, is tail lights, side lights, lenses, all this stuff. Now, this is also from an era when cars were different every year. And basically every model was different, right?
A lot of models had different trim, different details, touches here and there, and each year changed for lamps and lenses for the most part.
Now, nowadays that's not the case. There's been a whole decade of cars I can't tell apart, but back then it was different. And if I needed to replace my parts now, you're probably the guys to talk to.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about some of this. What do we have here?
This is a 1968 Camaro taillight bezel, die cast with high quality chrome and the correct detail black painted inside, and it's a very heavy piece.
It is a good chunk of metal. Now these would really break down. You know, the paint would fleck off, your chrome would pit, and if it got whacked,
it's done.
It's done. Now there's some NOS pieces out there, but you're going to pay an arm and a leg for them.
Super expensive if you can find them.
If you can find them. And if you go to junkyard, you're going to find the same kind of part that you're trying to replace.
Exactly.
So Classic's got exactly what you need. Now, how about that one over there?
This is a standard Camaro 1969 headlight bezel. This has a chrome trim ring on it, and it's molded from the original tooling, injection molded.
Well, that's right. And basically, all these parts are actual GM restoration, licensed restoration
Licensed
parts.
GM restoration parts, that's correct.
So they're going to fit right in. They're going to look exactly like the original equipment.
Correct.
Camaro?
1970-73 Camaro.
And how about this?
This is a 1970-73 Camaro RS park lamp lens. And it's got the correct pigtail and grommet, lens, bulbs already installed. This is a drop-in piece ready to go.
Drop in, plug in.
You're done.
Wow. And the wire's not crumbling or anything like this. Got to be a Nova here.
62-4 Nova. This is a tail lamp assembly. It doesn't have the wiring, as you can see, but it does have a backing plate and a gasket already installed, ready to go.
That's a good point, too. Gaskets. You know, a lot of people didn't realize that these things are all gasketed. You wanted to keep the water out of the lights and out of your trunk, or, you know, out of wherever you wanted to keep it out.
Exactly.
So you supply full gasket kits?
Full gasket kits for almost everything.
That would be one of these?
This is a 1969 Camaro complete gasket kit.
All the stuff you need? Even these funky things here? What's that?
Funky things are for the front park light.
But of course.
And it also includes the RS backup lamp to tail panel gaskets if it's an RS model. Fits either.
Okay. How about this?
1967 Camaro Rally Sport tail lamp lens. This is a one-piece all-red lens because your backup lenses would have been on the tail pan below the bumper.
In 67.
In 67 and 68. If you had a standard Camaro, this is a 68, different pattern to the lens. This would be half of the lens and the other half is red.
Wow. Well, another great thing about these being, you know, official restoration parts is they've got all the correct guide stamping, right?
Correct SCE and guide markings on all the lenses.
It's unbelievable. A lot of people don't even realize that if you can go up to a car and just, you know, kind of get the dirt off the taillight lens, you can see what the year was. And if it's an actual GM restoration part, that 67 is going to be there. A lot of the other aftermarket replacements aren't going to have that.
Unmarked.
So this is the real deal.
That's a real deal.
Okay. All right. That's nice. Well, let's try a couple pairs here. I like this. This is what do we have?
That's a 68 Camaro and also probably full-size Chevy rear side marker with a matching bezel.
And that would go together like that?
Exactly.
Okay, but the reverse of that kind of is this pair over here. What would this be?
That's a 69 Camaro front side marker with a matching bezel.
But this goes on differently. This is from the inside, and then the bezel goes over it and kind of masks it. Huh. Very nice. All right, more Camaro over here?
More Camaro. 1969 Camaro Rally Sport taillight lens, no backup in the center. The bottom there is a 69 Camaro standard taillight lens with a backup lens included.
This has got to be an inventory nightmare.
There's a lot of things, a lot of different things to keep track of.
A lot of things. But this is a beautiful piece, and this baby screams Chevy to me.
It is. That's a 1967 Nova all die-cast headlight bezel, right-hand side.
It's a 67.
67.
Because, you know, it's got a real retro look to it, almost Tri-5.
It does.
Yes, it's very cool. Well, nobody's going to mistake this one. Got to be Pontiac.
1968 Firebird, assembly with the gasket and bezel.
Man. All right, pop quiz. Playing Stump the Master here. Pop quiz.
What do you got?
I don't know. You tell me.
All right.
This is a
1970 to 73 Camaro rear side marker with a backing plate.
Oh, man, you are good. And you guys have it all, don't you?
We have it all, have it in stock.
Man. Well, if you want to learn any more about these great OER genuine GM restoration replacement lights from Classic Industries, log on to myclassiccar.com. Okay, Professor, what's that?
That is a 1968 Camaro front